So if a tsunami came and washed away all of my makeup, what 10 items would I purchase first? Hey all, Tina here. Welcome back to Beautiful Journey. I am so glad that you decided to spend a little time with me here today. I know that that's a ridiculous assumption because I live in the Midwest in the United States and tsunamis are really hard to come by in this neck of the woods. But I've seen a lot of beauty creators do this tag in the past, and I'm always interested to hear what they have to say about what 10 items they would replace first, because not only do you have to come up with what your favorite items are, but you also have to eliminate a couple of categories in order to get a full face with just 10 items. So when I sat down to think about this, I first made a list of the 10 categories that I felt like were essential to creating a full face of makeup for me. My essentials may be different from your essentials. And what was interesting about this is that when I got down into the nitty-gritty of picking the item for the category, it wasn't necessarily always my favorite item. Oftentimes it was my most versatile. Because if I can only have one, then that one has to be able to handle multiple situations. And let's face it, one of the reasons we tend to have a lot of makeup is because every product is not right for every situation. It's kind of the same reason that people who have tools have a lot of different tools, even a lot of different tools in the same category. One screwdriver probably isn't going to do every job that you need a screwdriver for. In the same way, one blush isn't going to be the right blush for every situation. So with all of that, let's go ahead and get into what my list of my 10 products that I would go out and purchase first. And I'm going to go through these by category, kind of how I put them on my face. So for primer, I'm kind of extra because I tend to use 2 or sometimes even 3 primers if you count my eyes, okay? But I'm going to only bring in 1 primer, and that's going to be the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. And I picked the matte because I do tend to have kind of an oily T-zone. So this is my most versatile primer. And I would probably most of the time only use it on my cheeks, my nose, my chin, and my forehead, kind of in that T-zone area. But I would also use this as a primer on my eyelids. I've seen a couple of ladies use it that way, and I tried it, and it actually doesn't work bad. So if I had to have 1 primer, that's the one it would be. The second item I would buy is a foundation, and it would be the No. 7 Lift and Illuminate Serum Foundation in Cool Vanilla. And I'm a little salty about the fact that this is my holy grail foundation, and it's getting a little hard to find. I did just order one off of the Target website. A lot of places have a lot of the colors sold out, and Amazon is jacking up the price. So fortunately, I do have one on the way, but after that, who knows what's going to happen. Maybe they're reformulating, maybe they've discontinued it, but it is getting a little hard to find. And I just realized in looking over my list that I forgot to include a concealer, and I have dark circles and I must have a concealer. So one of the products that I picked in, I'm going to have to kick out, and I'll tell you what that is when I get there. I would go out and buy the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer Corrector, and my color is 200 Ivory. This is a cool toned concealer. It does a great job covering the dark circles. It doesn't settle in my lines and wrinkles, and it pairs really well with this foundation. The undertones are very similar and the finishes are very similar. So it really looks nice together. And then I need a powder because I always set my makeup. And so I'm using 4 of my categories just to get my base established. And the powder that I would use is the Maybelline Fit Me 05 Fair. My favorite under eye powder is actually the No. 7 Lift and Illuminate. I love that for under eye. And it can be used for the rest of my face, but it's not my favorite on the rest of my face. Whereas this one I love on the rest of my face, and it also functions just fine under my eyes. So that's why I would pick this one over my No. 7. I realized I was running out of categories, and I decided that bronzer was one that I could live without. So I would not go out and purchase a bronzer, but I would purchase a blush. And honestly, if it were possible, the blush that I would purchase is the BH Cosmetics Truffle Blush. And I don't think it's cheating because it's a blush palette, because this is actually my very favorite blush that I own, but you can't get it anymore because BH was bought by Revolution. So I had to pick a different one. And the one that I decided to pick is the Essence Mosaic Blush in All You Need Is Pink. This is such a pretty neutral shade of pink, and it has all of these colors in there. When you put them together, it's just, for me, a really nice flush, and it's neutral enough to work with either a warm or a cool eye look. So that's the blush I would buy. I also do not have room in my 10 items for a highlighter, so let's move on to eyeshadow. And if I had to purchase one eyeshadow palette, it would be this one, the Stone Cold Fox from ColourPop. This color story is just gorgeous, and it has so much variety in here that you really could survive with this as just your only palette for a long time. It has some rosy tones, it has some taupes, grays and blacks and silvers. It gets a little bit warmer over here, but it's mostly a cool tone neutral palette, and that's just right in my wheelhouse. The other thing that I could do with this palette is, remember when I said before I forgot concealer and I had to kick something out? Well, the thing that I would kick out would be an eyebrow pencil, because there are enough browns in here that I could find an eyeshadow close enough to my brow color to make a shadow work for my brow product. The other thing is I don't have room for an eyeliner, and so we have black and dark brown in here that could be used as an eyeliner as well. And spritzing it with a setting mist will make it even better for an eyeliner. And I could even use some of these shimmers as a highlight if I wanted to, and probably could make a couple of these work for a bronzer. So this is a really versatile palette, and if you have to limit things, it would serve a lot of functions. The mascara that I pull in would be the Essence False Lash Effect Lash Princess, the green one. This one, I just love this mascara, and it's one that will be a staple in my inventory. When it's gone, I repurchase it regardless of how many other mascaras I have. I like it by itself, and I like it layered with others. It's really nice as a first mascara to separate lashes if you have one that's a little more clumpy and you want to get volume. So this one kind of separates and gives length, and then you can put another one on. But anyway, this would be the mascara I would purchase. Then I need a lip product, and because I have some lines around my lips, I want to have a lip liner and a lipstick, because otherwise lipsticks tend to feather. And so I am going to buy the Essence Stay 8 Hour Lip Liner. This is my favorite lip liner formula right now. I actually have 4 of them, but the one that I would buy is in Tea Time. It's more of a neutral nude mauve kind of color. And since I have that cool toned Stone Cold Fox palette, this is going to go really well with it. Just about any look that I could create with that palette. The lipstick that I would bring in is the Maybelline Cream Lipstick in Rosy Risk. Now, this is not a long-lasting formula. You will have to reapply it, but it's, for me, that your lips but better kind of cool-toned mauve, and I just love it. It's one of my favorites. But again, it's really versatile, and that's almost more important than being a favorite. One more product, number 10, is going to be a setting spray because I want my makeup to last, and that will be the e.l.f. Microfine Stay All Night Setting Mist. This is my favorite setting mist. I think this is my 3rd bottle of it, and when it's gone, I'll buy another one because I really, 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 really like it. So the mist is super fine. It does help my makeup stay all day. If I've powdered, it helps melt that powder into my skin so that it doesn't look cakey and powdery. And so yeah, that's the setting mist that I would buy. So with those 10 products, I'm going to list them all again right here for you. I would be able to create a full face of makeup and have varied looks with my eyes, and could get along just fine with just those 10 products. I am so glad that I don't have to worry about a tsunami taking out all of my makeup. But it was also a fun exercise to go through and see which 10 products would I think would be the most important to purchase first. Did you agree with any of my choices? Would any of the things that I picked be among your list of 10 items, or would you have a completely different list? If you want to, share your 10 items down below. I would love to see what you would purchase first if you had to replace all of your makeup with just 10 items. Now I know this is where everybody's going to start to click away, but don't, whoa. Don't go anywhere yet, okay? Take 1 second, find that like button and tap. It really does help me out. Then, if you're going to watch another video anyway, why not click on this playlist right here and watch more of my content? That would be awesome. Thank you all for stopping by, and I hope that you have a beautiful, blessed day. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye!